Alright, this is my lesson plan. I'm doing a writing unit for my entire unit, and for this lesson I'm going to be talking about putting details in writing. So as you can see, the standard that I picked was developing an engaging idea reflecting depth of thought with specific facts, details, and examples, and that translate into the objective. Students will be able to successfully incorporate appropriate details, facts, and examples into their writing. So the objective here is just taking the standard and translating it into a students will be able to phrase. So the hook will be a fun activity that kind of shows students that they lack putting detail in their writing. So basically the process is that I'm going to have students take a few minutes to write down on a piece of paper how they would make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's important to note that if there's an allergy, because a lot of kids are allergic to peanut butter, then they would just we could do a different kind of sandwich, like a ham and cheese sandwich, or just a jelly sandwich even. There are a lot of options, but I would tell them to write down how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and not give them any directions or hints of where to start. Just simply tell them, okay, write down how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And while they're writing, I will get out the jar of peanut butter and the jar of jelly, and then plate, knife, and loaves of bread. So now I'm going to have students volunteer to make a sandwich from their classroom's directions, and I'll ask for a volunteer, have them pull a paper from the pile, and I will read the directions word for word while the classmate tries to make the sandwich. The goal here is that the students won't be able to make a sandwich because a student might not write things like pick up the knife or open the jar or put peanut butter on the knife, very specific things. And so I'll repeat this process with a few volunteers, around 3 or 4, just to show that they are all struggling with putting enough detail in their writing. For the instructional input, I will have a poster made at the front of the classroom with the concept, what should I add on it? That's on the next slide so that I can show you. I was going to make a poster for the presentation, but I'm not allowed to leave my house right now. This concept will be explained to each student, and while I'm explaining, I will explain each one and ask students to give me examples of each before we move on to the next, just to make sure that they're understanding each one fully. So here is the acronym, what should I add? This is what's going to be going on the poster at the front of the classroom that I will be teaching from. Before I get into this, I will be asking students what they already know about adding details to writing, what kinds of details they think are important. That way I can assess their prior knowledge, maybe get an understanding of what they have never thought of before. But as for the acronym, it's something that the students can ask themselves when they're writing, what should they add? What should I add? And then each letter stands for something different that they should consider. The first one is inner thinking, and then there's an example. So basically explaining to the students what inner thinking is, basically the thoughts that are going on in your head. A is action, and then there's an example, and again explaining to students what that means. And then the next one is dialogue, and then another example, and then again explaining to students what kinds of things that they should be thinking of in relation to dialogue. And then the last D, description, and then explaining that to students and what kinds of things that they should be thinking about as far as the description goes. As for modeling, I want to give my students an example of how to do a different simple task. The first one that comes to mind for me is painting your nails, and it's important that this example is different than making the sandwich because that is going to come back later as an activity because they'll be rewriting their original instructions, and I don't want them to just copy what I say, but they still need an example, so painting your nails would be a good one. So walking students through the IADD, what should I add acronym, so that they can see that being used. Here, check for understanding will take place during modeling. I'm going to be asking students to engage with me during the modeling portion of the lesson. So asking them questions like, what should I be thinking while I do this activity? What actions does this activity require? Is there anything I should be saying? Describe to me some details you can think about this activity. So basically, those are questions that relate back to the What Should I Add acronym. So by asking them those questions, I can see if they really grasped the concept, but at the same time, modeling for them what it looks like, correcting students who are incorrect or are still struggling or don't understand. This is really important, but at the end, they will have a model of how it looks like to actually use the What Should I Add acronym. So the guided practice section is going to be where the students are rewriting their directions for the sandwich instructions. And the reason that this is guided practice is because that the students are going to partner up and they're each going to rewrite their instructions, and then they are going to read their instructions to the partner that they have, and their partner is going to try and make a sandwich based on their instructions. So hopefully by the end of this, each student will have a sandwich that they can eat if they want, but also the goal in having the sandwich at the end is that they all correctly wrote down the right details so that the sandwich could be made, unlike at the beginning of class. And here I'll be walking around, listening to students give their descriptions, and seeing how their directions were, and then I will have them turn in the directions that they actually did right. That way I can go ahead and check it as well. So for the independent practice, I like the idea of having a one-pager for this, because a lot of students still will need a visual to help them think about the what should I add. And for a one-pager, they will be able to have those visuals, but it'll also require their creativity, which will be fun for a lot of the students. Basically, a one-pager is just one page, as the name implies, and what they're going to do is illustrate an activity, a simple one, kind of similar to painting nails or making a sandwich, but a different one nonetheless, where they draw out all the steps and then write in detail how to do that activity. The pictures could help the students, like I said, visualize the details that they'll need to use, which would reinforce the what should I add concept that we learned earlier in class, so that hopefully eventually students won't need to have the visual at all anymore. So to close the day, I will allow students who have finished their one-pagers to go ahead and share them with the class if they want to, reminding those who haven't finished that it is going to be homework, and that they have to bring it back to me tomorrow in class, but they really should have enough class time to finish it and have it turned in by the end of class. And so just allowing students to share is a good closure, because it could help people who are struggling, providing them with more examples, but also some students do like to share their work, so that will provide them an opportunity to do that. Finally, we have accommodations and extensions. So for accommodations for students who are struggling after instruction, I will allow them to physically make their sandwich as they write their instructions, because some people really, really need the visual and they need to be doing the activity in order to completely understand the details. And by doing the activity as they write, they might be able to more fully understand the concepts taught, because a lot of people will just learn better by physically doing it while they are learning the concept. As far as extensions go, I will allow students who maybe wrote their instructions perfectly the first time, which will be rare. But if that does happen, I will allow them to choose a different, possibly more complicated activity to write details over while everybody else is writing their second round of sandwich writing. But yes, that is my lesson plan and a description of it. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for listening.